Broadcasting from Hollywood, California, it's Rants, Hollywood Talk.
Celebrate Valentine's Day with us. We look at unique dates, Real Housewives Returns, and what we are loving and hating in pop culture. Lady Gaga to 50 Shades, the prestigious women of Hidden Figures, to the prestigious guests on Dr. Phil. Join the panel right here. Let the ranting begin. It is episode number 50, our Love It, Hate It panel, Valentine's Day show, and what a dynamic panel of guests. Voices that we haven't heard from. You know, I had the Thanksgiving episode, we had the Christmas episode, so we've caught up with a lot of former co-hosts, but these are new voices that have been on the show before, but now here to share their thoughts on what they're loving and hating. From episode all the way back from episode 6 and episode 20, it's Megan Stecher.
Hello.
Thank you for coming, Megan.
Thank you for having me.
It's been way too long since you've been on this show.
I think it's been 1 year, and I did last year's Love It, Hate It panel for Valentine's Day.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Finally back.
And for episode 34, Richie Skye rejoins.
Yay!
Welcome back. I know you're going to have a lot to say, especially with pop culture.
Oh, yes, God.
Yes, there's a lot to cover. From episode number 37, it's Andrea Fasano.
Hello.
Glad to have you back here.
Thank you.
One of the top performers, by the way, of your episode.
Ooh, that's special.
Yeah,
I had no idea. It was definitely the talk about Lindsay Lohan. Everyone misses that being, you know.
And that was when the Brangelina news broke.
Absolutely.
So I bet that had a lot to do with our POV. Yes.
Cool.
From episode 31, it's Jennifer Gam.
Hi.
Hey. Welcome back. Well, let's catch up with everyone real quick. And let's talk about what your Valentine's Day plans are. So what's new? What are you doing for Valentine's Day?
Well, my boyfriend and I are going to go away. We have a completely non-9 to 5 Monday through Friday schedule, so we actually both somehow have managed to have Tuesday and Wednesday off.
Nice.
So we're going to drive to Mammoth, where some buddies of his just bought a house. I don't know how people in their 20s can be buying vacation houses, but it happened. We're going to cash in on that luck.
Yeah, you do.
We're going to stay for 2 nights there, and I'm going to attempt taking my first snowboarding lesson. So pray for me.
So fun.
See, I kind of want to go just for the cozy aspect of it all.
Right, I'm very like après-ski, like, honey, you do your thing. I'll just be like sipping some wine with some fondue by the fire.
I have a DJ gig in Mammoth in a couple of weeks, and I'm staying inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inside the entire weekend.
Don't even have a coat.
Oh, God. I don't either.
Like, I don't have a coat warm enough for the snow.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Because I got rid of all my East Coast
Go
clothes.
to Marshall's.
I did too.
That's funny. You mentioned East Coast. We're all East
I was
Coast.
just going to say, because he said that.
Right.
Yeah. That's why we're
Richie,
convention
DC?
so much.
DC Jen.
Florida, New York.
Okay, yeah.
New
And
York for
Andrea, of course,
Andrea.
New York.
And I'm a Philly girl.
Yes.
Wow.
You all are these big cities.
We hit all the highlights.
I know, and then I'm from Cranston, Rhode Island. Who cares? Who the hell cares? So let's talk a little bit about Patreon and a new something new for listeners to engage with. Over on Patreon, it's a subscription content service. So if you want even more rants, extra little things, there's all different levels in which you can subscribe. So it's like the lowest is $2 a month, and you get high quality downloads, a bunch of bonus content, interactions with me, and then you can pitch different topics if you like. And so there's different ways that you can do different things the higher you'd like to go. And it's really something that is next level for the show. You know, I'm always looking.
Yeah.
We worked a little bit with Bid Chat last year, and so I'm always trying to find out like new ways to be innovative and expand the podcast in this technological space. I think everybody is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's like, let me see what this is. And it's very popular amongst podcasters. So I'm hoping that, you know, we'll be able to, you know, really engage with our audience in a new way, and that you'll be able to support the show. So that's patreon.com/grantsrants.
I like it.
Yeah, a lot of people have been doing it lately, and I looked into it, and I was like, you know, do you have to have like a certain number of listeners or anything? And they said, no, just go for it. So it's a legit group. I really looked into it for quite a while. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, so definitely check it out if you can over on patreon.com. All right, let's talk a little bit about Valentine's Day. And there's over $4 billion is expected to be spent on jewelry.
Oh, wow.
$2 billion on flowers. And does anyone want to take a guess on different places that are being searched for, the most searched destinations for Valentine's Day? They're interesting.
What are they?
I'm gonna say Jared Gallery of Jewelers is a hot Google search.
Yes. But what about places?
You mean location?
Locales.
I'm
Oh,
gonna say Fiji.
I'm gonna say Paris.
Paris.
Ooh,
Oh
that's
yeah.
a-
Paris,
Yeah.
totally.
New York.
Maui.
Ooh, Maui.
Yeah, New York is a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because this list is not very international.
Oh, okay.
This list is number 1, New York, so New York City.
Yes.
Really?
Number 2, Disneyland.
Yeah, I can see that.
Why?
I would not go there for Valentine's Day.
Don't take me there for Valentine's
I know plenty
For
of
my
people who would go
birthday.
to Valentine's Day.
Well, Disney World is number 3.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I know that
So
Disney.
both of them? That's
Not
hilarious.
for Valentine's Day.
This is so weird.
But it is cute because, Disney is so, like, happy and yummy and just, yay!
And
So,
they're-
couples love doing
I
that
think-
picture by the
Yeah,
castle.
Because I would
Those
always go there as a
matching
kid.
Ears.
No, but there
I
are
don't
people that
associate
are
it with romanticism.
That's
hardcore
fair.
fans that love Disney, that they do everything.
You guys, my
That's
uncle did
true.
a Disney cruise for his wedding, like a honeymoon. So
Now that sounds fun.
yeah,
You're into
Cruises are fun.
that
a
is
Disney cruise?
funny.
How many kids are on a Disney
I would do
cruise?
a Disney
they're-
But they take the kids away.
not for my wedding. Not for my wedding.
For a honeymoon.
Seriously, on cruises, they can take the kids away.
Well, number 4, Universal Studios.
Hilarious! Theme parks.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
not
think about it.
Parks,
You
yeah.
ride rides, you're
participated
2 at
in
a
this?
time. Yeah, I'm a big. If you're a theme fan,
I love
I get
theme
it.
parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not to
You
that
took this survey,
level.
didn't you?
No, totally.
And lastly, at number 5, Las Vegas.
Now that I get.
Right.
Because you go do the quickie marriage on V-Day. Eloping on V-Day. How
Yeah.
romantic.
I don't know. My Valentine's Day plans are going to do AfterBuzz for the Real Housewives. I mean, that's
That'd
it.
be fun.
I mean, but that's my every Tuesday night
I
plan.
Yeah.
love Valentine's Day. Like, I don't treat it as like a boyfriend girlfriend thing. I
Couples
treat
thing.
it as like I love celebrating with my family
Love.
and
Yeah.
my
You love
friends.
love.
Yeah, and so my family and I, we get together and we like just
Aw.
we're really close. So we
Sweet.
just like last time I was at my family's house in Nashville, and we decorated the house and we got cupcakes. Like we make it into this
That's
whole
awesome.
ordeal, and then we watch like Valentine's Day movies. And,
Aw,
like, it's
that's
just
nice.
fun. Like that's how I see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it as like a boyfriend, as
Yeah.
like a romantic thing.
Right.
That's why I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And,
What about-
and
what about
I'm
you?
going to
What are you doing?
Valentine's Day party.
Well,
Cute.
I will be working on Singles Awareness Day, so I'm not going to be celebrating that.
Yeah, same. When in doubt, I'm always working anyway, so.
Yeah.
And it's on a weird day. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
What about you?
I had no plans, but my boyfriend actually lives across the country, so he called the other day. He's like, "So do you want to like have a virtual date?" And so it was cute. We might have dinner or something and like
That's
FaceTime.
awesome.
Yeah, it's actually really.
Yeah.
Where
He
is
thinks
he
of things
located?
like that, and I'm like, it's so cute. He's in New York, so it's a 3-hour difference. So like at 5, I'll probably be eating. But he's done it. He's like ordered me Thai food, and then all of a sudden the door rings, and I'm like, what? It's really romantic and just thoughtful. Like it's so simple and it's thoughtful. We were thinking about like even going to the movies like separately but together, like and watching the same movie and then talking about it. But there's nothing really out that I'm like into seeing right now. So yeah, we're gonna do a virtual.
I like
date,
very
guess.
new age.
sounds
Andrew.
Yeah. And you know what? You
that's
save
so
money
cool.
because like
Yeah.
you don't need to go to a restaurant and then privacy of your own home and we're just talking.
How often do you guys see each
Right.
other?
He makes it happen pretty often. I mean,
That's good.
it's usually every other week, and if not, we've gone like 3.5 weeks is the longest, which is kind of incredible. Yeah, because I've been in a long distance relationship before, and it was months because you just can't see each other.
It's expensive.
But it's
too.
so expensive. But we actually travel a lot for work, both of us. So I was just in Vegas because he was there, so I just drove out, and it's like that's the way we saw each other.
Yeah.
So it was, I mean, come on, like
I love that.
It makes
what
it
better
fun,
way to
too.
see it? Yeah,
Clearly works.
it's been working. So let's knock on wood and keep it going.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, very nice.
Well, let's take a look in the spirit of loving and hating. Two stories that I've been hating. Oh, one story I've been hating on, and one story that I've been loving on. Let's start with the good stuff. Let's talk about the story that I'm really not too thrilled with. The return of Nene and Kim on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I was so upset to read this headline.
Why?
It sparked me had to fit this into the show.
Okay.
So, y'all watch Atlanta
I
on
do,
this
yeah,
show? Okay,
yeah.
all right, good. Well, at least some of us do. So let's talk about this. I am not a fan of Nene.
Why?
I want nothing to do with her. She's obnoxious and she's talentless.
And I think she's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I
I
don't
love
even
it.
watch the show.
I love her.
I love an over-the-top personality on these Housewives
You know what?
shows.
She knows it, and she owns
does,
it, and
yeah.
she just makes her mark. I only know her from Glee.
Yeah, I was gonna say I used to not like her, but ever since she became
She was awesome
her own
on Glee.
thing,
Yeah.
she's.
I think her.
she's
It's
a
like
fan.
having Vicky Gumbelson on OC. It's like you almost have to have that bit of on the show.
See, I don't view her as that important to the show. I don't like.
Not
to me,
important. I feel like it's clear that they can operate without her, but I just like that extra bit of drama that she brings.
Yeah.
You know, I just think her ego is so out of control. I don't
yeah.
like people
That's
like
what
that.
makes her great.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. But for me, I'm like, no, we're good. I have
Here's
no
the thing:
choice.
if she went on to those other ventures and failed and was not good at them, then yeah, I'd be like, why is she still on this? But she killed it. You know what I mean?
And
she
she
keeps
still is.
doing
She does.
so.
Yeah.
exactly.
Really well on the other
She
platforms.
does,
that she
and
has.
so it's like,
no, though.
how could the other ones even touch that? So you didn't like her. I think anyone who works with scripts and words and does that that quick, that's a talent. So to me, I'm like, own it, girl.
To me,
just
she
go,
was
keep going.
to me, she was a stunt cast.
Funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, as someone who doesn't watch it full time all the time, I kind of catch the highlights the next day through my e-news and stuff. Have they not been do they need the spice back? Do they absolutely need her back?
No.
I thought that they were holding
I
their
don't
own.
No,
Yeah.
the ratings are still good. In fact, the cast is really upset.
Yeah.
Because they've been able to create heightened drama,
right.
good ratings. The show hasn't
Well,
fallen
and it's
down.
not only Nene, it's Kim too.
Right.
And I know nothing about her. I know she had her own
I
show.
would be here for both of them coming back. Even if it was a
him.
limited capacity, but I want to see both of them back.
Yeah.
But if as a cast member, I'm thinking to myself, would I be upset? Probably not, as long as my paycheck didn't change.
Right.
Well, they're concerned about that because these two come with the big pay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially Kim, who has her own show and
Exactly.
her.
That's why I don't know if Kim would really do it.
Did she accept an invitation back because her husband's been unemployed? I'm
That's
wondering.
what I was thinking. I don't think so because she's doing pretty well for herself with her show and
She has a skincare line.
She has her own. She has a lot of sponsorships.
Well, I did appreciate the preview we saw of the fight between Kenya and Kim. I'm here for that. That was a good
That's
one.
exactly why I want them to come.
Yes.
All right, I'll be accepting of them because I have no skin in the game when it comes to contracts and money. I mean, I'm not going to get paid anyway, so who cares? Well, I'm not on the show. But I will say, if they come on and they actually play the game and they do the show and they're not sitting off somewhere commenting,
Right.
Kim's last half of a season was a joke. She shouldn't have even been paid for what she did, which was show up to 2 events. Nene likes to just be above everybody. But if they're going to be housewives and get dirty, then I'll be like, okay, I want to really see this. Kim is coming on, like you mentioned, this fight with Kenya. Well, that was supposed to be Nene's appearance for this season. But because of contracts that fell through, they pulled in Kim at the last minute.
Wow.
So,
Interesting.
so these women want money. And,
I think-
what point, you've got a cast now. There's already 7 women on the show.
The only way to make that interesting is if they take away Cynthia.
Well, I'd be
Because
okay with-
Cynthia is like the
Yeah.
eternal follower. And it will be interesting to see how they bring Nene back on her own. Because she won't have a follower if Cynthia's there.
Yeah.
Neither will Kenya. So it'll be interesting to see how they all kind of mix it up.
Yeah, I'm okay with Cynthia leaving. She doesn't do anything. I will say about Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm always entertained when I watch, and it wasn't always my thing. But the last couple seasons, including this season, when I know I have an Atlanta to watch, I'm always entertained. So I give them my seal of approval. But I don't know about these two. Like, I mean, I like the show, but I don't know if they need these two, and I don't know how much, if they're going to pay them, if they're worth it. So, I don't know. You know, do you think it's a diss to the cast to have them come back?
A little bit. Like, I'd be offended if I were a cast member. Like, I heard Sheree's bringing a lot of good one-liners, and I would be like, why do we need them back? We've been doing this great for years. They got their own stuff. We don't need them back. I would be offended, I think, as a cast member.
I think going back to the whole contract and how much they're getting paid, I think that will affect how much they'll be getting paid next season. Because like if you're bringing two big players back into the show,
and there's already 7 people on the show.
Yeah.
And Candy's been on since almost the beginning. Phaedra's been on many seasons, so they're already forking a lot of money out to these people. So. Yeah, I don't know. Sheree, though, is into it. She posted some video that looks like it was recorded on, like, an Android from, like, 2008. You know what I mean? Like, a really bad quality video. Yeah, I was like, I don't know who the hell recorded this. Or her statement was that they set the tone for the show with that. They deserve a chance to be on again. So she's behind it. But you know that Candy's probably pissed because she makes so much money on that show. And I'm sure that Kenya isn't too pleased either because Kenya views that as her show.
Right.
So.
I don't know why.
Not a fan of Kenya Moore, huh?
I mean, who is?
Nobody is.
Yeah, I don't know. I get kicked out of her. I like her.
I mean, she's just there because she brings the drama. But I would rather than make Marlo a housewife.
All right, can we clarify? Is Marlo an ex-prostitute allegedly?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure she's an
But here's the
ex-prostitute.
thing that I don't understand though. Like, if Kim could have a big papa, what's so wrong with Marlo having,
Multiples?
a sugar daddy too?
Multiple daddies.
See?
I guess. I don't know. But I'm watching that Marlo. She's supposed to be the epitome of glam. And I'm like, but you're an alleged ex-prostitute.
How do a lot of these housewives get their husbands anyway? They're dating usually, sometimes rich men on these shows.
All of them.
On these shows.
Well,
anyway.
that was the whole purpose of that Real Housewives to begin with.
Except
Right.
Nikki Gumbels.
Yeah. Well, and Phaedra too, because she
works,
take the husband out of prison or whatever. So.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, well, that's something I'm hating, but something I'm loving. If you don't like it, then y'all can catch me outside. How about that? Because I was outside on Monday after Buzz, Megan telling me about this girl on Dr. Phil.
Yes.
And I have been watching this video a little too much. I knew that I was just going to go fall, hook, line, and sinker into this viral video. Tell us about it. If you haven't seen it, what's it all about?
What, the Catch Me Outside girl?
Yes.
Well, first of all, I don't know where she came from, and I don't know what this video is, but they made a song to her singing.
The trap remix.
The track
Like,
remix is good.
It's good.
And the next thing you know, everybody's posting it, and she just looks like the most, like bland little girl. But did you see recently she was fighting on a plane?
Yes.
This has been a big week in her life.
Megan, tell us about this.
Okay. So I kept seeing this meme everywhere on a lot of comedy Instagram accounts that I follow. And I'm like, what is this? So I Googled what it was. And this young lady was, I think in October, was on Dr. Phil. And it seemed like a very, like, Jerry Springer. Yeah. Okay. So a 13-year-old girl with the biggest attitude problem.
Yeah.
It seemed very like Jerry Springer to me.
Yeah.
Like how out of control her attitude problem is. And then when you really catch up with the mom's got the same attitude problem. So like the apple doesn't fall far from the
Here's
tree.
Here's the girl.
Did you say the hoes are laughing?
Yep.
So the audience are a bunch of hoes.
Yep. Catch me outside. How about that?
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
What I just said.
She's 13. So then
She looks 23.
I know.
So her "Catch Me Outside, How About That" comment went viral, and she got so much attention that she like went crazy on her Instagram and got all these followers. And she loves on her Instagram to like sing to a bunch of rap songs and talk about fights she's been in. And then, so a few things that happened recently was she got in some kind of big fight that got caught on video, someone else's cell phone. Then this week, when she's trying to head to Dr. Phil for her catching up with Dr. Phil. Yeah. He sent her to like some teen rehab for attitude problem kids. And she is back with the same attitude. And on the plane, on the way there on Spirit Airlines, her and her mom, if you see the video on TMZ, like you can tell she got all these issues from the way her mother acts.
Absolutely.
Like they got,
Totally
the
ratchet.
two of them got in a physical altercation on the plane before it even took off.
Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
All the airlines.
I'm so happy it was Spirit.
They got banned.
Spirit likes that though.
Oh, that was a lot of good promotion for them.
Publicity,
Yeah.
yes.
But they got banned from Spirit Airlines. And then she told the paparazzi this week while she was hanging out in LA before she taped the show, like, y'all better back up, I'll kill y'all, or whatever.
Yeah, she was literally.
Wait, can you say it again?
I mean, the wording might not be exactly
No, you
correct.
sound just like her.
So
She was walking out of Catch, the restaurant.
that's a hot spot right now.
Yes.
Clearly it is.
Hilarious.
So she also now, to her credit, has started a merch line.
Stop it.
Which,
She's so
I'm not
smart.
gonna lie, there's one
That's pretty smart.
item that I'm like, that's a good one. It looks like a Champion sweatshirt
Yeah.
hoodie, but it's got this Champion C, but it's like "Catch Me Outside," one word in the cursive, like their text.
That's great.
So she's had a big week, and she was just on Dr. Phil the other day, and her and her mom
she actually got there.
on one. Her and her mom are on one.
Well, she did read Dr. Phil for filth, crediting
Yes.
all of Dr. Phil's success to Oprah and her.
It's so good. You gotta watch
She
it.
went there?
Yes, 13. And this is after the
13.
rehab. This is after the behavior rehab.
Yeah.
Did she say that on the show? Or
Yes.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I would love to hear what
She,
Dr.
to
Phil
his
said
face,
that.
to his face, yeah. So,
And they drugged the mother too because they had an off Dr. Phil camera, and I guess they were rolling on her talking to producers, and she was like, "Y'all need to give me a better hotel than what you set up."
No.
Yes.
oh, yeah.
Yes.
These
I think that's
two.
becoming a thing in like the reality-ish TV
Space,
world is
yeah.
is getting the off-camera moments.
Yeah.
Because if they're still might,
Raw,
Well,
yeah.
because that's the reality TV. People are onto the fact that it's no more reality. It's produced, and people get that, and so now they want the real.
When the
That's-
subject
yeah.
turns against the machine.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, like on The Bachelor, a lot of the highlights
Oh,
are like
for sure.
when they're mic'd, when they're like off the
In the bathroom and the camera can't
or
get there.
at the beach and
that
like,
is so wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's
I'm
it.
here for it. I'm so
Yeah.
it's all right.
I love the trap
Yeah.
remix. But yeah, here are my thoughts on this. All right, by the time this podcast ends, this girl's already like 3/4 of the way done. I mean, what's left for her to do? You know, she's already returned to the show and they did a follow-up. But Dr. Phil, I hope you're listening, because you're no better than her and the mother's behavior. By having her come back on and not having anything to really say that she's improved upon, she's still throwing shade and calling the audience hosts who aren't even there. And so I'm like, Dr. Phil, this is something, because he said, okay, well, this girl really doesn't know who she is yet, so there's really not so much we can do. I'm like, well, all right, if you're a doctor and you sent her to this retreat with these specialists, so what do you mean there's nothing you can do? So she's just going to end up in jail and just be a delinquent? Is that what you mean? And so, you know, not only that, but he brings her on this show with the intention of just exploiting her because she's this celebrity now
She's
for like
good
10
for
minutes.
ratings.
Yeah. So if someone like her, who doesn't know who she is and feeds off of all this attention, they should never bring her back and give her a platform again. But because he is who he is,
And
the
it's-
doctor of exploitation, he's going to bring her on.
But you know what?
Can we
It
do the
sweeps.
applause here.
Right,
Put
that was
applause
a
underneath
great
this.
rant.
That was
And I
great.
have to point out it's sweeps. So he did this as a sweep stunt.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I mean, that
forgot
makes
about
it even
sweeps.
worse.
I think
Yeah.
she's gonna do Big Brother next or something.
Got it.
Some type
Got
of
it.
some type of
Oh, yes.
extension.
13. She'll be the youngest one ever.
Where is
Exactly.
this girl going to end up? Like, I'm waiting. Like, how long do you
Sadly,
give it to
Bad
on the
Girls Club.
cover of Us Weekly, and the next Teen Mom.
Well, I think that's if she's lucky. I think that she's going to end up in prison.
You're right. Bad Girls Club could be
Bad
calling
Girls
her.
Club.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She's
What's
too
going
young
on?
for all this.
Sad that that's a thing. It makes me
Bad
so
Girls Club?
upset. Just the fact that the promotion of her her bad attitude is good, and she
Yeah.
makes money off of it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
You know, my sister and my good friend both are teachers, and one of them teaches exactly that age group. And they say that is that generation. Like, they're that reality TV, like,
Raised,
get in your
yeah.
face, like, scream in your face generation, especially if they're of lesser means, and they're impossible to control. So
there's no consequences. That's why.
There's
because
none.
guess what? She got kicked off Spirit Airlines. They booked her on another flight. You know what I mean? There's no consequences anymore.
That's so true, and that's what they fall into in the world of teaching. So I'm told, like, that you need to have a certain number of students. The more students you have, the more money your school gets. So the concept of expelling kids is out the window because they need the numbers. So someone could do anything, and then they like send them home for like a day, and then they come back on a Monday.
Ratchet.
So that's the world that we live in. It's so frustrating. But you're so onto something. No consequences. But I love the story, and I will see you around. See you until you steal a car and enter jail.
Where there is a consequence for something.
Catch her outside.
Yeah.
You catch her outside.
You're gonna catch her outside, right?
Yeah. All right, well, when we come back, we're going to take a look at some dates and see if these are something we'd be into or not. And then we're going to be revealing what we are loving and hating in pop culture in a moment.
You're listening to Grant's Rants. Please rate, subscribe, and share. Spread the word. There are a lot more rants to come. Listen anytime on all major podcasting platforms and YouTube for bonus content. And now, back to the show.
Let's talk about some dates and if we would be interested or not in some of these unique dates for Valentine's Day. This comes from Marie Claire magazine and a Jet Set article over on BravoTV.com. The first one is a ghost tour. It says, the convenient thing about ghosts is that they tend to hang around old cities everywhere. See what's going on near you, and bonus points if you find a spooky event that includes booze, like Portland's Haunted Brewery Crawl, which comes with beer samples and a guided tour.
What?
I feel like that's more of a friends thing, not a date thing.
Or a Halloween thing.
Yeah, right. On holiday.
See, I don't do pub crawls. I'm not interested in crawling anywhere. So I wouldn't
That's
be doing
my normal Sunday.
I'll go to 1 or 2 places, but I mean, it's these people who go out for the day, I can't do that. So I'm not interested. I'm already turned off by that. But I would just, with friends. I mean, there's nothing romantic about this. Unless if you're perhaps like a gothic couple.
Right.
Maybe you're really into death.
Right. Which there are plenty.
But then they would just do
like
it
that.
themselves. They wouldn't hire a company to go on a ghost tour. They just do it themselves.
It's an odd Valentine's Day thing.
No.
Yeah. Suggestion.
So none of us would go on this guided ghost tour.
No.
And don't take me there for Valentine's Day.
No.
Specifically.
You lose points.
Yes. The next is a themed museum trip. Says when museums stay open after hours, they tend to spice things up by throwing a party or holding a special event, especially for Valentine's Day. Take an after dark art tour for 2, or like the one offered in San Diego Museum of Art that is complete with a picnic basket for 2, chocolate truffles, champagne, and accompanied by live music.
Yes.
I would,
Yeah, that's cute.
I
That's
would
fun.
say for a first time date or even new couples, that is so great because it's different. There's something different about that. You don't even have to be a museum lover. It's the idea that it's not a restaurant. I'm sure it's like fixed price. And it's just something so different, and I feel like that's a really cool thing to do.
And it's low key too. No
Very.
pressure. You're walking around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's another element involved, and it's all timed so there's something next and dinner or whatever. Very romantic.
Right.
Yeah.
Megan, how do you feel about an art museum date?
I love this. I think the picnic basket kind of is like the cherry on top. I think whenever you say picnic basket involving a date, girls are like swooning. It's just such an old-fashioned thought of a guy trying to be romantic toward you. So, yeah.
Very like Norman Rockwell.
I'm down. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, to me, I mean, I guess they're a very cultured group. Because I would love to go. I mean, I would love this.
I would like that.
Yeah.
We are coastal elites, Grant.
I love that. Yeah, so I would go on this, especially the San Diego Museum of Art. Their museums are amazing. Balboa Park is one of my favorite places on earth. So, I mean, just take me to Balboa Park and I'm happy.
Right.
But this, yes, I'm
Throw
all
a picnic
for
basket
this.
in.
Yeah.
We're happy.
I am all for this. I think this is a well thought out, cultured, and elegant date. And especially involving champagne or good stuff. The next is a little different. This can be done anywhere, your own home, wherever. An old-fashioned radio program party. Turn down the lights, open a bottle of wine, light some candles, and get ready to emulate the eras of yore. Whether you're in the mood for a murder mystery or a sci-fi epic, go to radiolovers.com to listen to hundreds of vintage radio shows for free.
Ooh.
There's a real... When you started saying it, I was like, But
See?
honestly, if you're thinking about it, like, think about the era shows that are all Mad Men and all of that stuff. If you really put yourself in that environment and just listen to that, think about, like, where it's just, like, the couple dancing along to the radio, and I don't know if y'all are feeling this, but I love it.
I think
They're giving me
this is
looks and
where-
stuff.
It's too romantic.
That's where you have to know your date or your partner
absolutely.
well enough. Because I think if I walked in the room and that was playing, my thought is, what are we doing?
Someone's
Like,
gonna kill you.
I could
what
have just stayed
happened?
home.
And
for
let
this.
me text somebody and ask them what's going on.
Absolutely. This is a little more advanced.
Yeah,
This
I
is
mean,
an advanced date.
This is what you call a discount date.
What
I
a
mean,
cool idea.
Really, though, I mean, what money are you spending?
Right.
You know,
but
I
you know
guess
what? You
this-
put that into a steak dinner, done.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
there is food involved. I'm always,
Yeah.
always
I don't know.
happy.
It's
sugarfish.
interesting. What if they're just not into it? Though? Like, it's something I would try. But what if we're like halfway through it? I'm like, this is old and boring. I'm
Yeah,
over it.
right.
You know, so it could go south quite quickly listening to an old
Definitely.
radio show.
You have to appreciate a certain era of that time, you know, with the radio shows and the way that they were sound effects and voiceovers and all of that. You have to really appreciate
See,
that.
to me, this is putting your attention on something else, which would be the radio show, and it's not attending to each other. So I don't love the idea.
Yeah.
Well, it's more of the ambiance. I'm
For me,
seeing
I
it
would have
as.
like a reservation at or at a restaurant that your favorite restaurant as a backup, just to be like, all right, we gotta go.
Right. It's the prelude.
Yeah, it's like the prelude.
That's nice.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Another, this isn't very innovative, but another date is karaoke. They pitch it saying, leave behind the friend group and head to the karaoke bar with just you and the boo. After all, after all, what better way to celebrate your chemistry than singing classic couples duets such as Bonnie and Clyde and I Got You Babe together?
No, I could do that in the car on the way to the restaurant.
I hate karaoke.
I'm so bad at
hate
it.
it.
I love it, and I don't
do
love
it with
this idea.
friends. I don't want to do it with a date.
It's not romantic.
Richie, I am with you. If someone took me into a karaoke bar, they clearly don't know me, and it's over.
Thank you.
I don't do karaoke. There's just something about it I don't enjoy. First of all, if you notice, those libraries are hardly ever up to date.
Yep.
They're all old, and it stopped at like 1999. You know what I mean? Like it's like this, like
Like Bye 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 is the last
in a
current song.
keeper or something.
Yeah.
Exactly,
It's like
exactly.
Some old binder that you're
No.
just like.
I just don't care for. I think that it's like people like love to sing, and that's great. But sometimes people need to be singing, and it's like, all right, how long are we gonna watch? How many songs are you gonna do?
Yeah, I've done that with just a few people, and it's not near as fun as with a group. It just dies. It gets old. It's stale.
Yeah.
Not fun. And that's what people who like to do it. So
Yeah.
I can't sing, so I don't want anyone else trying to watch me sing in public. No, thank you.
Yeah, no. To me, I always think it's like where are we going with this? Like, we're gonna do this the whole
Right.
night.
Do you guys ever see My Best Friend's Wedding?
Yeah.
When
Yes.
Cameron Diaz stands up and Julia Roberts tries to embarrass her, and
Yes.
he winds up loving her. But again, so awkward. Like you're just singing to
It's
two
just
people.
weird.
Yeah. It's a weird
Yeah,
thing.
I'm not. No.
No, Carrie. Wow, we're all on the same page. We're vibing over
Strong.
this. Yes.
I am woman.
We're not doing karaoke. I can tell you. Next is very adventurous. New York. This happens in New York. I'm sure you can find other places, but this is how it's being advertised. It's stand-up paddleboarding couples. And the way it's pitched, they're saying it's a little too cold to get in the waters in New York right now.
I'm like, New York.
But Manhattan Kayak is offering a challenge indoor workout on Valentine's Day that will get all levels ready to roll in the spring. You could also, like Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry, try it naked to bond. They say for a truly erotic bonding experience.
Indoors. What? Where?
I know. Yeah, I'm trying to pick indoor paddleboarding. What are you getting? Like an Olympic
Chelsea
pool?
Piers is like the only like the place that I would think that would be that prepared for it, but I don't.
Just going to a pool.
That's boring.
Do some yoga together.
Yeah.
I'd rather fly to San Diego and do it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I would try this because I would probably never be asked to do this again. So it would be like, well, speak now or forever hold your peace. You know, like I would try it. But, I mean, I know I wouldn't be any good. I mean, this wouldn't be necessarily like the Valentine's Day date. This could be something we could just check out together.
Like going to the grocery store.
If you've ever done it before, it's actually very individualized. It's very solo because you're just there. So your friend or mate or whoever could be like 50 yards from you half the time. So it's not really something to do together.
It's not easy.
I mean,
and
it's fun. You could laugh at each other, but like...
we did it with a friend, and she had no coordination. She couldn't get up on the board. Yeah, because it takes time to get up on the board.
And then it's awkward.
It's awkward, and then you're like paddling, and then she's like behind, and then you're like, okay, well, like...
This sounds fun.
Right.
That's funny because in the picture it showed this couple like hand in hand with Manhattan behind them.
Yeah, funny.
Like, you know, just like in
Listen,
a pose.
if this was a severe discount, fine. But like, I'm not paying no $200 to do that.
Again, it's like I'm texting someone, why am I here?
It's like a Groupon date.
Wait, is that a bad thing though? Like, are you mad about like if someone for Valentine's Day, if it's a Groupon date, are you mad? It depends on what it was.
Right.
Look,
Right.
I'll take a date any way I can get it.
But I'm changed.
I don't care. I mean, I'll definitely just take whatever I can get at this point, but still not karaoke. Like, karaoke is still not happening. I'll sit home. Last one. This one. What do we think of this one? Speed hating. No, they say no. We didn't say speed dating. If you're single and hate Valentine's Day, along with a lot of other things, consider London's Down with Dating, a refreshing twist where you can meet eligible bachelors and bachelorettes while talking about things in the universe that you loathe instead of what you're looking for in a mate. Speed hating.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
I would do it.
That's so me. That's exactly what I need to be doing.
We're split on this because now I'm like, yeah, we need more negativity in the world, you know. But I do like the idea of it being singles and getting together and that kind of thing.
Let's be real. It's just going to be like a political conversation. What's the most polarizing thing right now?
It's like a venting session.
Yeah. And like, could you imagine the people that show up there? It would just be such an eclectic group of people.
I would
think
do
you
very well at this.
Yeah.
I would, because I bond talking about people that we have in common. I bond talking about things that are irritating.
Right.
Like I like real talk.
Yes.
You know, like I get annoyed that there's certain family members that I can only talk about like the weather, daytime TV.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? So it's like I need like to brass tacks real. Like I can't keep it all light and fluffy. So I'm here for the. I would try the speed hating. I'm most interested in the speed hating and that museum date. That's for me. In case of you were wondering.
Is this like, do you get food or anything, drinks, or is it just like together?
I feel like there should be drinks there.
Right, or is it just an organized event?
There has to be.
I think it's a good thing to. It's a nice twist on the holiday in order to get people to
Single people together.
Exactly.
Yeah, something to do, I guess. Yeah. Well, let's turn our attention to the love it, hate it portion of the show, where we examine such things that we are loving and hating, starting with a pop culture moment.
Yes.
Who wants to go first with what they're loving right now? Megan?
I will. I'm loving Melissa McCarthy. I always say her name wrong. Showing up on SNL as Sean Spicer the past couple of weeks. That's
Funny stuff.
I love watching those videos throughout the week. Crack me up.
Yeah, I think she's really funny in those. And like even he was kind of cool about how he responded to it, which I was surprised. What are you thinking?
I've been so out of the loop of what, like, I think because of everything with politics right now, I've kind of shut down with the whole pop culture moment, and I'm just like living as presently as I can in my own life. So I don't have a moment right now. I'm just so tired of the negativity, like I just said.
I think you're in a place of a lot of people right now. They're just kind of maxed out.
Checked out.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I don't know if it's a moment, but Lady Gaga announced that she's going on tour. So I'm like over the moon that she's going on tour with the whole Super Bowl and
that was a moment. That was
that was awesome. So
I'm on that
bandwagon. So excited to see her because I'm such a big fan and like everything that she's doing right now is impacting our culture and I don't know. It's just I'm like very excited to see
I didn't know you were such a Gaga.
Oh yeah. I love her music.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I'm gonna piggyback on that because it's a love and hate at the same time type thing. Because I loved her performance at the Super Bowl. I thought it was amazing. And I thought that it was very indicative of where she should be in terms of her music.
Yes.
Meaning, she performed mostly her past hits, with the exception of Million Reasons. I feel like her album Joanne, I am a Just Dance, Poker Face,
I'm right there with you.
Gaga fan because
era,
I discovered her just randomly on iTunes via those suggestions that they give.
Yeah.
And I had Just Dance on repeat when I first discovered her, way back in 2008.
Yep.
So it felt good to me because I felt like maybe, just maybe, this is a glimpse of what we'll get on tour. Because the whole Joanne album is it's a little like
jazzy,
country,
jazzy.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a huge fan, and I don't even know what you're talking about. Like Joanne went in and out with me, like
that's what I'm saying.
Because I didn't like what she was previewing.
You can't
and so I never
to
listened
it.
to it.
Exactly.
And I get that she's trying to do a more authentic, maybe relatable Gaga, but we don't want that in terms of the music.
Right.
I want the urban pop,
the art,
dance,
the disco stick.
You know what I mean? I want all that because I feel like that's where she shines.
The disco stick came out.
She shines there.
I think Gaga's a lot like Madonna in that she wants to completely reinvent herself every time she puts out an album. Like I remember loving Madonna's disco phase with that. Was it early 2000s or mid?
Yes.
2005 or something.
Tell me.
I can't remember. I remember watching her tour performance on HBO. Like the HBO covered it, and I just loved that entire album and everything. I think Gaga has a good idea in her mind of what she wants to do, but like it's just not the right moment for it when she's putting it out.
That's a good way to put that.
But she's just one to watch for. She'll be famous forever.
Yes,
she's always going to be putting out something new that we're paying attention to, and like hopefully sometime it'll hit where we like really love it.
And her reinvention will keep her doing that because even if it dies, like with Joanne, you still love who she is, so you give her a chance.
I do, and I give it a chance, and I'm trying to get into it, and I feel like she's trying to infuse some of that into the old Gaga, into this new music with the video with John Wayne. She's dancing in it, even though the song's not really a dancey type song.
I'm definitely over her with Tony Bennett. Like,
me too.
I don't want to see that anymore.
Put him to bed. I understand the relationship. I understand you toured with him. Bye-bye.
Well, the moment that I'm loving right now is just this whole live Instagram and Facebook live situation with the question and answers that we get with celebrities, like, and the notifications. Like, I was in the kitchen at work and I got a notification that Tiffany New York was live, and I was like, I must watch this.
I love her.
So I watched it. I saw the whole thing. It was like 35 seconds. She was promoting her show on VH1.com or whatever, and she was like, she wasn't really taking questions, but like, we were like able to like write, and I like wrote a little something, whatever. So it was really neat. That was like, that's just like literally like you get a notification and they're right on your phone live. Like that's really neat to me. And when I went back to my desk, then I got a notification that Daily Mail was having a live interview with Lindsay Lohan. So I was like,
my God,
I have to watch this. So the questions were slow, and of course, with being as popular and world renowned as Lindsay is, she had a lot of people writing in different languages. Well, it was an English interview. So I said, well, I can get some questions. And I did. I asked about her music. I asked about her relationship with Oprah. And they asked immediately as I sent them. They asked those questions to her, and she answered them. So I was like, this is really cool. Like, what a great way to have access, and it looks like I'm working. You know what I mean? This is great.
Wait, is she putting out more music?
No, she said she's going to let that sister of hers do it, which I was very disappointed.
I like kind of her music.
I know
that one video.
I did.
Rumors are
exactly.
That was awesome.
Yes.
I thought I was going to be the only one.
Oh, I know. That's why I asked. I'm
The
like, I need
song
more.
first on Herbie Fully Loaded. Is that?
Oh, yeah, I was just listening to that.
Yeah. I heard that.
Yes. So, yeah, the live stuff is pretty neat. And I never really took it that seriously. But there's such an interesting aspect of the person's real time, and I'm into it now, finally. So, yeah, that's something that I thought was kind of neat, and I'm loving at the moment. Let's talk about what TV or movie we're feeling. Megan, what do you think? What are you thinking on this side?
I just started binging The Americans through my Amazon Prime membership, which I didn't even know. Someone let me in on the secret. My good friend came to visit, and she's like, "Do you watch The Americans?" I was like, "No, that's actually always been on my list." She's like, "Do you know you can watch it for free on Amazon Prime if you have Prime?" And I was like, "No way! Oh my gosh!" So I've been binging it for a week now, and it's amazing. And no spoilers, please.
This might go in line with the show Love Hate, but especially because it's a Valentine's Day show. I actually just binge watched Divorce with Sarah Jessica Parker and Thomas Hayden Church, and I really enjoyed it. But it's definitely one of those like only watching. Like obviously it's clearly all about divorce and them too. But I thought that the show was well done. Everything else I'm excited for. It's Billions, Girls, like all these new seasons that are coming up. I do the after show for Billions, so I'm obsessed and cannot wait for that to come out. And there's just so many between Amazon Prime, Hulu, Netflix, so much new original content coming out that I'm so excited for it. But I get torn with what to watch at what time because you have to be in certain moods for the. Just like I said with Divorce, like it's one of those rainy days in LA, and it was like, okay, I can watch the show today, but like if I'm on a bright day, I don't need to be watching that, you know.
True.
So you really even like Game of Thrones or those Westworld. I've been dying to watch that, but I need to be in that like I don't know what puts you in a sci-fi mood, but I need to get there.
I'm always in a sci-fi.
Really?
Especially with like Black Mirror, like I want to finish it, but that's like a once a month, like on a night that I can commit to like getting mind screwed.
Yeah,
you know, like that is really an intense one.
True.
So I know what you mean. I heard mixed reviews about Divorce.
You know what? I loved seeing Sarah Jessica Parker in a role other than Sex and the City because I always look to see her, to catch her in those like very Carrie, mannerisms, and she does a really good job. Like. Just being a reinvented new character. So it's a rough show.
So to piggyback on the original content theme, I'm loving VOA from Netflix. It's very sci-fi. It's weird. Like, period. It is weird. And I binge watched it over Christmas break. And my coworker was telling me about it. And it is amazing. If you watch the trailer, it's about this girl that used to be blind. And she disappears. I guess she gets kidnapped. 7 years later, she shows up and she can see.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. And then, that's the whole story. But then, as you watch, it's a 180. Like, it just takes you in this completely different sci-fi, strange, weird direction that you're just like, what?
Oh, I'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
I love sci-fi, but you know what I love on Netflix is, like, a show that has, like, 5 seasons. And then I can just spend the next month
for sure.
diving into that. Like I'm watching Haven right now, loving it. The 100, I could not stop watching that. I could not.
Is really
I couldn't go out with my friends because I wanted to watch that show.
Yeah.
You know, I always have so much to say about TV, and there's just nothing that really called out to me this time. But I did enjoy that movie La La Land quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
You didn't like that, Andrea?
I just think the
What
hype
is
that
the
has
premise
gotten.
of
It's
this
just
movie?
basically.
I'm sorry. I think the hype that's gotten is so undeserved. I don't get it. And you know what? Maybe because everyone hyped it so much, it didn't meet it. You know, but I was not impressed.
I really two of my best friends like cried. And then I gave them like the soundtrack, and they were like over.
I did enjoy the music, but that was it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I haven't
it about?
seen it.
It's about LA.
I know it's about
life in LA.
Oh.
It's like that's what it's about.
I thought it was a musical.
It is, but I feel like I come from being a big fan of musicals and the old look. I mean, I love the radio idea, the radio broadcast, and I just feel like it's not. It's trying to be an homage, but then get people who can sing and dance.
Oh.
Yeah.
They weren't the strongest.
And I love them as actors individually. I love Emma. I love Ryan.
Yeah.
They tried to redo this.
I love
Didn't work.
La La Land. And the music was amazing. I totally drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I did too. I waited forever. I think that's why I had so much anticipation to see it because I never could get there. And I finally did at the beginning of this year, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like, I finally felt like I accomplished seeing it. So,
That many nominations.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, but that's how I feel about award season in general, and that's why I don't cover award season on this podcast because it's the same people being nominated for the same things, and I'm tired of it.
You know what I did watch? I got to see the screening of Hidden Figures with.
I heard that's
Can I tell
Right?
you?
You want
That
to
is
talk
my
a movie that is
favorite.
life-changing and deserves award after award and Octavia Spencer and the director were both there after the screening and I was just like
Lost it.
bravo.
I wanted to cry.
You want to talk about crying.
And not because
Not because of the
it's a
oppression.
unifying movie.
Yes.
It is such a feel-good movie. Like you leave the movie feeling like I can do anything.
It's a
And it doesn't
hero
matter who
movie.
you are.
Yep.
Right.
And that's what I loved about it.
All right, let's take a look at what artist or song that we're loving at the moment. What do you want to say, Megan?
Okay, for my feminine side, I'm loving Rihanna's Love on the Brain. My masculine side, whenever Bounce Back from Big Sean comes on the radio, I was like turned it way up and I'm like bouncing in the car too. I love it.
I love that song.
And then like a quick honorable mention, Miley Cyrus's little sister Noah Cyrus has a new song and it just sounds so like spacey and cool and a little indie and it makes me feel cool when I'm listening to it. So honorable mention.
It was on my list too.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to go?
Sure.
Yeah.
So mine is I have a couple. Katy Perry, her new single came out. She's got this whole new album, and it's awesome. It's kind of spacey, like pink themed, very interesting. I also love The Knox, this indie band. I saw them last night. They're from Brooklyn, and they were in town.
Cool.
It's a name? I don't know. They were great. And I also love, so when Kylie Jenner launched her new lipstick line, she had this band featured in her video. It's called Terror Jr., and it's very pop, indie, electronica, and I love them.
I'm so glad you didn't say Kylie Jenner's new song.
I was thinking, where is it?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
No.
No, let's not. Ooh.
So mine are very random. Very, very random. So the first one is Starving by Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, I love that
Steinfeld
song.
and Greg.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I had heard the song and just fell in love with it and never knew who sang it. So I just recently added it to my playlist and now it's on repeat. The next one is this is like my little pop side, but it's a little mix. It's called Touch. It's their new single.
Oh, yeah, I know that song.
Look, it has like a Caribbean pop vibe, which I always love.
Mind you, this is the DJ talking. So
It is,
like,
exactly.
listen
But
up
hold
here.
on, I got my last one here, and it's Kaya. It's called Yum Yum Sauce. It's just like, it's so upbeat, but it's still kind of like urban, like hard. But if you listen to it, it's so fun. So those are my three.
Yeah, okay. I want to hear that one. I'm going to look that one up. I need new music in my life.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
You will love that song.
Yeah.
I have apparently not been listening to anything new lately. I have to admit, when I'm in the car, I put country station on a lot. So whatever you want to say about that. But I was gonna say Love on the Brain, Rihanna, because it's one of those. The way I know I'm paying attention to new music is I Shazam it if I don't know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
So it was Love on the Brain by Rihanna, Cold Water by Major Lazer was the next one that I did, and Me Too by Meghan Trainor. Which is interesting because I didn't know she sang that song, whatever Me Too. I mean, I'd have to listen to it again, but that's it. And then Bieber was on, I think it was with one of these artists.
Major Lazer.
He does a
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And I was really impressed with that.
Yeah.
So, Cold Water by Major Lazer.
I'm loving BB Rexa a lot lately, and I can't wait for her new album to come out on the 17th of February. I love listening to her voice. She has a unique sound. I really like her. She's got that song, I Got You. It's on like all the time. And she
didn't write Love on the Brain, did she? She wrote no, I'm thinking about somebody else. I'm thinking about BB Borelli.
Yeah. This girl, I mean, she's at risk of having her music being so overplayed until it's dead. Like, I worry for her. But she's been around for a while. She has been a songwriter.
Yeah.
So I'm into her. I can't wait for this new album to come out because I need new fun music. And I like there's a lot of drama to some of her songs, which I like, and her music videos are really over the top. So she knows that pop lifestyle, like that over the topness that I like. So I'm about her. I'm waiting to hear more. I can't wait for this album to come out. So I'm in for that. All right. Very important. The positivity out the window. What are we hating? What are we really not feeling in pop culture at the moment? I'm going to go first because this has been on my mind. I am not feeling this Bravo rebrand, this new logo, the new direction.
I didn't notice it until I was watching the reruns of Vanderpump Rules, and like I saw the new Bravo logo. I'm like, what is this? It's sleek. It's very.
It's like, to me, what did I write? I said it's like they like just lost its personality. Like it looks like they turned out the lights a little bit. And they're looking to appeal to a male audience. Now, look, I get it in a way from a network, and from a network exec, your initiative is to gain a larger audience and to appeal to a larger group of people. I get it. However, you've lost the personality of Bravo with not only the logo, but with the feel and look of the website and the app. And it's almost kind of like we're going to keep the same content, but we're going to rebrand it. So it's like giving a girl a Barbie doll, but yet it's in a camo box. And it's like, wait a minute, like this doesn't match to me. And it's kind of a little bit of an insult.
Yeah. I didn't think it was broken, so let's not fix it. You know what I mean? And they have their set audience. I wouldn't play with the success of it.
Right. That's kind of where I'm coming from.
I think the thing that I do kind of like about Bravo is, and I noticed the website, and I was just kind of like, oh, they changed it.
Is it completely changed?
It's completely changed. I mean, just the feeling of it feels just like something different.
It feels like VH1, like 2012, 2013. Like, I feel like we've already seen this.
That's weird.
Yeah. But I do love the fact that they are always willing to try new programming and new things. Like, they don't hesitate to just switch it and try something else and throw something new and crazy, some summer house out there. So I do love that.
Yeah.
You never know what to expect from them.
Right, that's true. I don't know, to me it's like a tough time in cable. I mean, you've got Oxygen that's going strictly crime. Bravo, for whatever reason, they had to mess with that. Esquire's done. So it's interesting to see these changes be made, especially to such a well-established brand that is Bravo.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm surprised more networks aren't putting out more digital-only content.
They don't know how.
I'm surprised that they're not doing that yet.
They don't get it.
Because that's really going to be where...
I had a recent seminar, I guess you could call it, lately with a big producer in reality TV, and it came up the question of digital, and he said it's all about the money, and the big cable companies are all about the money right now. Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But once they're forced to change, then Hulu will be gone because they will go to digital then. But right now they're not, which is interesting because as hosts, you're like, get me on the digital side for them, for these big networks, but they're not doing it. So it's very interesting.
It's crazy.
Wow.
They don't know how.
But like Bravo's producing that new series, is it
Imposters? Yeah.
I've seen a lot of spots running on TV about it. I mean, that seems pretty good.
They spent a lot of money on that, and that's what prompted the rebrand, was the unrolling of that show. And yet that show did very, very poorly in all demos and in total households.
But that's not really why we want to watch Bravo.
Exactly.
I mean, their scripted hasn't caught on yet.
Well, that's my point. But it way underperformed even Girlfriend's Guide and Odd Mom Out.
Oh, really?
But I think Girlfriend's Guide appeals to the audience that is already watching it. Like, Imposters is just kind of like, what is this about?
Right. It should be on a different network.
That's why when they changed the logo and everything, and it was with unrolling of the show, I was like, this show is such a left turn. It was just kind of like really jarring to me, so I'm not feeling it. Yes, it is. I agree.
Which is
like
a bad move on Bravo.
Yeah, I'm concerned. What do you think? What's on your mind for something in pop culture that you don't like?
To return to a previous moment in the pod, the Cash Me Outside girl plane fight this week, I was just like, no, really? She's already a disaster, and then she had to go get physical on a plane.
The plane fight, yeah.
There's a lot of celebrity plane fights these days. It's done. Let's move on. Not into
I think that threatens people's safety. You know, like I said, where are the consequences for all this stuff? It's not cute. I'm over people having no sense of consequences for anything and feeling like they could do whatever they want and being promoted due to social media and the way that it affects our lives these days from it. I hate that. Hate it. Hate.
There you go. I got it.
For me, I don't know if you guys heard that, like, Tom Hiddleston was back on the whole Taylor Swift thing. They were asking him about his relationship, and I was just like, why? Like, I love him, and the fact that they're bringing this up is just annoying, and they asked him about why he was wearing a I Love TS shirt, because he was wearing it one of the dates he was on with Taylor Swift on 4th of July weekend. It was just one of those things where I'm like, we don't need to go back to this.
Leave it
Can
alone.
we just like move on?
Yeah, over that.
I'm sorry, Taylor Swift in general is my big thing. It's just like, I don't want to hear anything else about her ever again.
I feel like she's been out for a little bit.
Because I just feel like what I don't like is, like, the way she kind of, I feel like she's a mean girl. Does that make any sense?
Well, it's
like,
because
I feel like
of
whatever,
her popularity.
Exactly.
Nice girl?
Meaning, I feel like it's like Katy Perry said. She's like a sheep in like, what did she call her? Regina George in sheep's clothing. That's what I feel like she's like.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. Because of her popularity, she can do that. So it's like whatever she doesn't like, everybody doesn't like.
Yeah,
you know,
I
and
don't
that's
like that.
It's scary to have that power.
Yeah.
That's kind of
So you're hating on Taylor.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was living for. I know we talked about this. I think when Kim Kardashian exposed her, that was probably one of my favorite moments of last
The best receipts of all time.
year. Yes.
Snaps.
All right, in TV, what are we loving? I mean, what are we hating at this point? I looked at that show Riverdale on the CW. Have you looked at that show?
Yes.
I've heard about it.
I'm loving it.
Really, I liked the first episode, and then I watched the second one, and I was really annoyed because they kept saying everyone's first name. Every moment, every piece of dialogue, and they're trying to adhere to this Archie comics from like way back in the day, and they're trying way too hard to stick to that script, and it's really distracting. Like the names, like it's all names from the 60s, so you've got like the lead's name is like Betty or something, and then it's like it's weird, and it's just, to me, it's one of those real, like, almost reminds me of like a UPN like high school teen angsty drama, and I liked the first episode, and then the second episode was awful from the start, and I usually always, if I'm latched on, I usually stay till the end. I never drop a series. I was way out of this one. Done with Riverdale. Not watching.
I used to love those Archie comics, loved. Really? So I can't believe I haven't watched this show yet. I got to.
It's not exactly the same.
I know. I heard Archie's like sleeping with his high school teachers.
Dawson's Creek
updated for the new millennium, I guess. I'm not wanting to get into this Santa Clarita diet. The ads here in LA are beyond. There's a huge billboard everywhere I look.
Saw the
and I did the red carpet for the premiere, and I have to say Drew Barrymore looks amazing. Like, she looks so great. I think she had to lose weight for the role, and she just looks phenomenal, beautiful, young, vibrant. Like, I think the divorce was good. It was like a refresh. Not that it's good to get divorced or like that it's a happy thing, but I think she's gone through like some good, like, I'm back to work, I got a new thing. I'm just so not into zombies, blood, gore, and it's supposed to actually be, the stars wouldn't stop telling me, like, you'll be surprised to watch it. It's actually kind of like a sweet family show. And I think it's actually about a family and their struggles and trying to keep things together and stay under the radar because mom's a zombie. It just was so much gore and blood and guts in the trailers that I was like, I can't not go in there. Good luck with the show.
I want nothing to do with that show. It looks lousy to me.
I just think the zombie thing's so overdone. Why do we need another one?
Yeah.
So I'm just not interested in getting into any of that.
I have no idea. I actually watched Schitt's Creek on Netflix. I wanted to love it. I heard about it when it came out on Pop, and I didn't get Pop Channel, so I really wanted to see it. It was a struggle to watch. It's funny, but I'm like, those kind of shows, it's not bingeable, like we talked about before. So I'm kind of just like, next, you know.
Yeah. Mine is 50 Shades Darker or 50 Shades.
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh, not into the 50 Shades.
No, not
garbage.
Nah. And it's everywhere. It's on my Snapchat. It's on everywhere.
Once Valentine's Day passes, it'll
and
be
it's
over.
just like I'm just not on that train. I'm not into it.
Mine is Lydia returning to the Housewives of OC. I know we talked about that earlier, like before, but it was why?
Ooh, hating on Lydia. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean,
I'm not hating on her specifically. I think it's just because I feel like she's kind of boring.
Right. Like, why
Means
not
like
cast
she's
someone
normal.
new?
You know what I'm saying? I don't want the Housewives to be normal. Like that's not
right.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we already explored that. Like, why can't we get someone else going on? They couldn't find anybody else. Yeah.
Bring back Gretchen.
I mean, like, that's the thing. I can tell you there's so many campaigns to bring back Housewives. I can guarantee you there was no campaign in the world to bring back Lydia. Like, there's just, like, it's not on the table. I wish they'd just bring back Gina and just pay her whatever the hell she wants.
I know. Bring back Gina.
The OG star.
And then I want to see the kids showing up to, like, for updates.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, we need her. We need her. All right, what else? What are we hating on in music? What do you want to say?
Starboy by The Weeknd. Why? I hate that song so much. I have no idea why it's still in the top 10 of the Billboard charts. I love some of his previous music. I don't get it. What the hell is a Starboy? I'm done.
Yeah, and because it's the radio edit, it sounds like he's like stumbling through the whole song. It sounds like he's like stuttering. Mm-hmm. You know, I hate that song too. That's an easy switch. I'd rather listen to nothing.
Case closed.
Yeah.
True. Honestly.
I think I'm down with that as far as certain pop music and crossover music it's the same songs, like the same music over and over, the same screeching, the same whatever voices, and I'm kind of over that. Definitely.
Apparently Aaron Carter has a new single out. And I'm just like, what? Like,
Not feeling it.
No. I'm just he's been through a lot, and I know like a bunch of like stuff over the media. He had some issues with addiction, and I don't know, he just doesn't look good, and he needs to just
For me, it's Migos, Bad and Bougie. I'm just tired of hearing it. Like as a DJ, I don't want to play it, but I'm
What
just
is the
tired
name
of
of it?
Bad and Bougie.
It's just
You would.
Actually, really, if you play Catch Me Outside, it sounds exactly like that. And
That's the music I'm sick of. Yeah, for sure.
that's it.
Cash Outside Trap
Remix.
Okay, all right.
I said it.
Well, similar to yours, Megan, mine is all this Bruno Mars being overplayed to death. I mean, you know, if you're a fan of him or not, like, I'm not really. But, I mean, I never really was, to be honest. But even if you were, you'd be so sick of it. And whoever his record company is, they buy him his own billboards on Sunset for individual tracks. I've never seen that. Like a single. Like, they give him a billboard for it. I think he's a little overrated. Like, I don't get it. I guess it's like music industry is just like whatever sells. We'll just put everything behind it. But that's such a turnoff. It's just like over radio play, you know? It's just like over it. Yeah, so.
Hate it.
Yes. Well, we can't end this on a negative note, so we must be positive and look forward to something. Let's end this on a positive note. What's coming up for you guys? What are you working on? Andrea, I know last night you were hosting an event. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I hosted the Society of Camera Operators Awards dinner. It was their Lifetime Achievement Award, so it was a really big gig for me as far as my career, and it was so nice to be around such lovely people in this business who are all part of, you know, the whole showbiz industry. I mean, they make it happen. They're the camera operators. So got to meet really cool people. Tom Everett Scott was there. Yep, talking about La La Land, you know, he was just in that. And Michael Keaton, I'm Batman, was there. So that was kind of awesome. And it was an amazing experience for me to just be like the Jimmy Kimmel or the Jimmy Fallon of an event like that. So really special, definitely high point in my career, and kind of like just reveling in that today.
Yeah.
And
you looked great. I loved your dress.
thank you very much. Thanks.
Yes.
And so that was cool. It was just nice, that whole idea of what the event was really cool for me, and they already asked me back for next year, so that was like a huge pat on the back.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was huge. So that's what I have to look forward to, because next year. And other than that, I have my after show for Billions coming up next week, and I love that show, and just seeing what's next, which is exciting. So.
That's great. Yes. Jen, what's going on with you?
So I am working in marketing, advertising, but I think I want to go into the music direction and do what I do now, which is analytics, but do it in music. And maybe nice. Maybe it's because it's Grammys week, or I'm just like, I've been going to a lot of shows, and I'm meeting a lot of people that work in the industry, and I was just like, wait, I can do what I'm doing now, but for an artist, and help him grow his brand, because I've always been interested in doing that aspect of music. Cool. And so I think that would be really fun.
Do it innovative.
Yeah, and I love that side of music, and I love Spotify, and I just love being around like different people that are trying to grow their brand, and that takes a skill. It takes a lot of planning, and I think I have what it takes to help a band or whoever needs to grow their brand.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. What's going on, Richie?
I have a show coming out on a major network.
Ooh, teaser.
I know, right? I would love to talk about it more, but it'll be out, I think, this summer. So you guys will be able to see that. And I'll hopefully be able to come back and talk about it.
Reality show?
Yeah, you can't say anything about it?
Show. Okay. That's what I can say. And yeah, it's crazy.
Yes, well, we know
the concept is crazy.
Yeah, when you do these shows, you have to sign your life away, and you can't say anything. So
I signed my soul away, and any children I have.
Can you say, are you yourself? Like, do you? You're just authentic
just me.
to you. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Nothing is. It's all me. It's all me.
All right. Well, you'll have to come back and talk about that later this summer.
Yep.
Then. Yeah. All right. Cool. Megan, what's going on?
I have started getting paid to do red carpets. So exciting! I've spent so many years of like struggling through like the entertainment host gig. So now I get paid to do it, which is exciting. So like recent highlights where I interviewed Scorsese on the red carpet. As you guys were talking about how much you liked Hidden Figures, I got to interview Janelle Monáe and Pharrell. So it's just been so many people. Oh God, I did the Baby to Baby Gala. It is like the A-list of women in this town, and that was like to die for. I got to meet like Rachel Zoe, Jessica Alba. Like if you look up online who was there, it's like so mind-boggling. So it's just been really exciting lately. So hopefully bigger things to come soon.
That's awesome. Definitely. Good for you. I didn't even know that about you. Good for you. Happy to hear that.
Thank you. Oh gosh, and I did the Martha and Snoop Super Bowl commercial. I couldn't talk about it, but now it's out. We were on set with them, and I got to interview them for like the behind-the-scenes footage that T-Mobile was going to use, and Good Morning America ended up using that footage. So I'm not in it, but it's definitely me asking them the questions as kind of a producer.
Who are you working for?
They go by a couple different company names, but we get hired by the movie companies to be like their house crew and put up all that footage online for maybe any entertainment news shows that couldn't make it, or any local stations that want to use it. So it's been awesome.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Well, I don't have too much else to promote other than I've been really pushing the show and trying to reinvent and find new things that I can do to keep it fresh for me. 50 episodes is great, but I always like to reinvent and find new energy and new places to put it and new things to make it still exciting for myself. So I'm always innovating and working, and I'm doing a lot of work lately. So that's kind of all I can say at the moment. And yeah, so good. I'm glad that we all are in a good place and keeping it positive as we wrap out this Love and Hate It Valentine's Day panel. Where can we find y'all real quick, and then we'll bid adieu.
You guys can find me, Megan Stecher, on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. It's just Megan Stecher. It's spelled MEGANSTECHER.
Nice. And I'm Andrea Fasano. You can follow me on all social media at Andy Fasano. That's Andy with an I.
I started a new Instagram. It's called Brunch, and it's 4 B's, and it's just brunch, and it's kind of themed about breakfast and all the my favorite hot spots in LA. So that's
I need to follow.
Yeah.
It's DJ Richie Skye. You guys can follow me on all social media at DJ Richie Skye.
Thank you all for coming in and loving and hating with me on all these topics and all these people and all these TV shows and Dr. Phil.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Happy Valentine's Day, kids.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
This has been Grants Rants. Follow us on Twitter at Grants__Rants. Cover art created by Howie Ronay. Voiceover by Blake V. Media. Original theme music composed by Alexander Arntzen.